Well, it's time to talk about another classic horror with me, Angela of Morbid Heart Designs, and you get to watch this painting develop as I talk about Phantom of the Opera from 1943. Now, I am planning on also doing the silent film version of this down the line, but this was what was in the Universal Monster box set, so I'm doing this version of the Phantom of the Opera story. So this is from 1943. It's a drama, horror, musical, directed by Arthur Lubin. It does star Nelson Eddy, Susan Foster, Claude Rains, and Edgar Barrier. I did enjoy the little bit of a twist that this movie did have on the Phantom. We got to meet the Phantom character before he was scarred and put on the mask and took out his revenge and all that shit, which I really liked that aspect of the story. I got to see more of a connection between him and the Christine character. It's not just about her voice, it's about her as a person and the potential he sees in her. He acted as a beneficiary for her to get the voice lessons, to become the understudy, and eventually the opera star he saw in her. Mind you, he also had to pull some strings to get her to be that opera star, but that is like part of the adventure and story. I'm really torn on beyond what I said just now about what I liked. There's not much that I did like about this variant on Phantom of the Opera. It's really hard to watch and get through. And I think a lot of that fact is that I don't like opera. I've seen about 5 operas in my life in person. I feel like I've given them a fair shot on that note, and I absolutely don't like opera. And this movie did have a lot of opera. I feel like more than half of it was opera. I don't know, I could be skewed in my memory because I didn't like it, but it was too much. And I feel like if you did remove that aspect and just made them very brief or alluded to the performances instead of watching so many of the performances, that this movie would only be about 30 minutes. So yeah, that's a thing. I mean, the movie's not incredibly long as it is. Well, it's an hour and a half, so it was a little bit longer than standard movies at the time, but there's just not a lot of story and a lot of opera singing, and I'm just not into that style. If you are, cool beans, do you, boo. I am not into opera unless it's the alien from Fifth Element, and then hello, yes, I'm into that opera. That's it. That is it. Despite me not liking this movie, it did actually win several Oscars for 1944. It got Best Cinematography in Color, Best Art Direction. It was nominated for Sound and Music, which it definitely did deserve a nomination for the music. Very well casted, very talented performers, like no disrespect there. It's just not for me. I like rock and metal and sometimes heavy metal, but I'm very picky about the heavy metal. So it's not like a complete shit show of a movie. There's some good things about it. There was another good thing, though the singing was actually good even though it wasn't for me. There you go. There's another positive about this movie. I know I for sure am not gonna watch it again. It does look like a sequel was planned called The Climax. Due to story troubles, it never really made it to fruition, and I'm okay with that. The concept of The Climax actually did end up getting reworked by Universal to be something completely different, and it was made into a movie. I guess something good to say, the costumes were good, the opera sets are amazing, but that's like standard for opera performances. Having been backstage at the Met and seen how things work, it's pretty standard. So I guess that's all I'm gonna say. I didn't like this movie. And out of respect for it being in the Universal box set, I'm going to decline to rate it because I really don't know what I would rate it. But I at least wanted to talk about it and do this painting, and I'm looking very much forward to painting the other, more classic style of Phantom down the line, but I got a lot of other things to do between now and then. So that is a thing in life right now, and that's fine. And since I have nothing else to say, I'm gonna go ahead and end this review. I hope you've enjoyed my ramblings, not knowing what to say about this. I've given it time to percolate in my brain, and it's not percolating correctly. It's not percolating at all. I'm not gonna ever watch it again. And I don't recommend you watch this one. There's a lot different. Ooh, there's a Spanish one, black and white Spanish one, that is hella good. Definitely recommend watching that one and not this. What year did it come out? It's black and white. Find it. It's amazing. Even though it's subtitled, it was a fun, enjoyable watch. It was well acted, well written, well everything. And it didn't have a whole ton of singing. Maybe that's why I liked it more. Not a whole ton of operatic singing. Alright, now I'm seriously done with this review. Thank you as always to my patrons, and from my dark heart to yours. Have a wonderful day, and please don't die before my next video.